Howdy and hello, hello. Hello from my little leprechauns you don't want to see over here. I'm that mom. Thanks, Dollar Tree. I go nuts. And it probably has to do with, well, I know in part it has to do with my mom celebrating holidays. I just love to celebrate. And me, the event planner party coordinator, it's just what I used to do. So, but also I have a lot of mom guilt. Back in the day, I worked a lot. Um, Not holidays, I kept those off, but I just overdid it sometimes. And in a good way. I love the wake up. I love the surprise wake up of the kids, like that Christmas morning wake up. I do that for everything. So yes, there were little leprechaun feet all over the place. There were antics. There were fake $100 bills all over the house and all that stuff. But I had a sick little guy, 4 in the morning before the leprechaun set their alarm. There was a puking party in my little man's room and a skyrocketing fever. So I've been on mom duty. And in reality, merging those two thoughts together, I had a lot of times back in the day on set where I had to go to work, even when my kids were sick, because I couldn't get the coverage or it was too involved of a job that it was more work to even find the coverage and set them up in the right way to make my client happy. And it was a mess. So I'm like, oh, I'll have a sitter or a mom friend, or it'll work out that they'll be just at home in case he needs anything. But what they need is a guardian or a mom or a dad or a stepdad or a sibling or someone there to hold their hand and give them reassurance and the wet cloths for their head and everything. So on that note, with him being sick, we lost out on Kung Fu, on a huge, massive, awesome Pokemon playdate with a dear Starseed buddy. We're missing a couple sound baths. I'm missing friends that are in town. And they're, whether they have kids or not, they universally get it. They're like, be with your kid. So that's what I'm doing. And that's where I've been. And but I also thought I'm ants in my pants and I want to talk a little bit. So I just came down to do that before we take the kids out and give them some sun because it's gorgeous out today and it's very natural. I don't see any argyle skies. It's just a beautiful day to soak in the sun and get some of that vitamin D healing. So we're going to do that. So happy post snakes and religious war fights and all that stuff. Or if you're just a mom who loves Dollar Tree and making your kids giggle, happy St. Patrick's week. It was really cute. Um, on that note, with my son, someone who always is talking about health and things, and why do your kids keep getting sick? The last hit I had when he had a respiratory thing was okay, get the tank out of his room. He's a turtle tank. You might hear it now over there in the kitchen. Got that out and he cleared right up. And I'm like, oh boy, that was right next to his head. And sure enough, those suckers are hard to keep clean all the time. So we would really push it till it's swamp, um, like Yoda land mode. And he cleared up his respiratory. So just case in point to those who do have the water tanks and turtle tanks in your room, careful. That's added moisture for your kids' lungs at night. So I got that hit. And for this one, it took me a while to get it. But my general consensus is he's growing like a mofo. He has grown from in my pit, standing in my pit, like there, to now he's like up to here. It's creepy. Even while he's sick with this fever, he's like, measure my feet. I think I grew a little bit. And he is. There's that, but there's also those energies. He came into quite a few new activities as of late, and he's mutating and adjusting to those rhythms. Case in point, one's Kung Fu. He's on like his third week of that, and we're really enjoying it, but he had to miss a session because of this ailment. But the other big one was just this week, and it's a new pod that he's joined. We are at the learning center, but again, it's 3 days a week. So that fourth day, we go to a gorgeous area. I don't even want to disclose it, but it's gorgeous on a hillside, and it's a drop off. And he is there from 9:30 to 3, and he's doing like 3.5, 4 hours of survival, like Lost Boys kind of things. Not Lost Boys, vampires, Lord of the Flies kind of thing, like survival stuff. like how to navigate currents and build shelters and what's edible and really fun stuff with a couple diehard guy pals. And after that, they have like a 2 hour math lab. So he was really excited to do that. But again, new energies, new routines. So I'm like, and he's such an active boy, as far as being a generator in human design, and also as far as he's in the 9 year change. And with Steiner, that's a pretty big deal because they are becoming aware that their childhood is going to be behind them and they are now an independent being among the planet. What are they going to offer? What are they doing? What adventures will they go on? Whereas childhood, you're really like, where's my mom? Or, um, it's play and protection and down here, whereas this 9 going into double digits, they're like, who am I in this space and what can I do? Pretty exciting stuff. So we were expecting some of these pitfalls and hurdles, but I'm going to miss some of my pals in town. Felicia, I'm speaking of you. Felicia Lacroix will be in town with a sound bath. A few of my gals are having sound baths and spring equinox gatherings and all that. But like they say, they get it. The guilt of having to leave my kids when they were sick during those work days. I mean, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm here until I say you are well. And that's why I think we're gifted this really cool sunny day. We do have rain on deck again. So that's why I'm waiting to see, are we going to get sprayed or is it going to be real? But we got to soak it up. So we're going to get some sun in soon. What else did I wanted to say? It's just chit chats and whatnots. My whole intent, who I am. Let me just say that. Sure, I come to the table with a lot of stories. These are not fables and these are not made up stories. They're my stories. They're my human experience. They're my journeys. And I know when I was having my awakenings in my teens and 20s and 30s and 40s and now almost 50s, I will come across someone's content and it's inspiring or uplifting or it speaks to me. It resonates. It's like, hey, that's someone like me. And often it's their human experience, it's their stories that they're sharing where you don't feel so alone, but you also have hope and a little bit of inspiration. Heidi's hopium, man. That's what I can bring to the table. And so there seems to be this, well, actually, who knows what the F it is, but I have my own stories to deliver. I also have a resume and a history of working with and having clients or working for um, the mass populace, not a specific small group of people, but all types of people, all ages, all religions, all races, and across the United States. And for that, I've developed a communication and I'm working on my listening of how to come across to them or how to reach them. So when I do get involved in some of these communities, especially some of these super tight knit communities that are like, well, if you didn't touch an ET, are you even one of those? That there are some of those peeps out there. I don't get affected because I'm like, I'm doing some big work. And that's reaching a populace that does not necessarily subscribe to abductions, contactees. They're aware that there's healing modalities. They're aware that there perhaps are shaman or other people out there that can heal, but they got to be reminded, probably by someone who was reminded herself, that they can do it themselves too, and show them. So there is a reach that someone who has worked with the general population has. And I found and find bliss in sharing my stories. I am a storyteller. I love to be, I'm an entertainer. I'm from improv world, comedy world, drama world, the stage, but that does not mean you're fake. It means you're not afraid of this. You're not afraid of an audience or their reaction, and you are opening yourself up to hopefully reach and lift at least one person out there. And by that, I mean, whatever the content is, someone will resonate and go, oh, and it will lift. I mean, I feel like I go in circles with that sometimes, and I'm not in a defense mode. I don't feel like I'm reacting to anything or defending to anything. But I am aware that there are some people that are like, well, where the hell did she come from? Or what the hell does this have to serve anybody? It must not mean meant for you, but it is meant for somebody. And my DMs can prove that. So I will be continuing to share stories. I will be continuing to share my journey. I am hell bent on sharing. I know not anything more than anybody else, nor anything less. And I am not in a hierarchy stage than anybody else. I am just in a position of availability to share and experience to share. And I do believe we are at that incredible time on this planet where our children are spearheading the way. And I love being a part of that in that sense of sharing my human experience with my own children as a mother and in working in learning enrichment centers that protect the body, mind, and will of the child. I can share that. And to not be afraid of what's to come and the people I've been meeting that are helping me co create even high school for this stuff, which is new out here in Los Angeles area. So, what did I just say? I don't know. I don't remember. But I think my points were made. Snort, laugh, giggle. Holy smokes, I forgot really one of the biggest things. And I know for certain he's not watching this because he's working camera on a game show today. My beloved giant, happy 1 year anniversary of getting us into this home. Now, he kind of carried me over the threshold when we moved in. And no, we didn't get to document it. Maybe we can reenact that. But I tell you what, it has been a fully incredible journey to be on with this man. With that being said, I did choose this last year of being majority of my time in solitude, and that is an incredibly healing journey and a healing acceptance of a way to be just alone. If not alone, then with my family, my immediate little family. That is my priority. And that is why I am here and able to share so many stories because they've allowed me to. But also, that's where my experience lies and where I can be of service is what is working in our family, what is not, what I'd gone through before and what I don't now, or what is on deck, blah, 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 blah. Now I am in circles. And this just reminds me now, which I'm not going to start doing because I need to check on him, the whole mental health talk, which is very important. Maybe we can do that later. So this was a babble. That's what this was. This was a babble. Hi, bye. See you later. Smell you later. Let's see.